Hi guys, this is the concluding video on the age of Chaucer. In the previous video, I discussed in detail about Chaucer's important works, especially his Canterbury Tales, and in this video, I'll focus on his contemporary poets and their important works. And towards the end of this video, I'll take some important MCQ questions related to the age of Chaucer that I couldn't discuss in the previous video. So let's get started. Now, the first important contemporary poet is William Langland, and he's known for his poem Piers Plowman. It's also known as William's Vision of Piers Plowman. Now, it's an allegorical narrative poem written in East Midland dialect. It also falls into a dream vision because it contains many dreams. And it is version namely A, B, and C, and there is also another version that is Z version. Okay, so it basically talks about life, danger, materialism, Christianity, spiritual growth, and at the same time, it satirizes corruption among clergy and secular authority. The poem opens in the Malvern Hill in the West Midland region of England. The name of the narrator is Will, and he, being tired of wandering, falls asleep on the hill beside his stream. And he starts having two dreams. In his first dream, he sees a tower set high up on the hill to the east and a dungeon lying deep in the valley to the west. And in between these two places, there is a field, and he refers to it as fair field full of folk. And these people are divided into three different classes, namely clergy, nobility, and peasantry. And they have also corrupt clergyman among them who is selling papal pardons to the people. And if you see that the tower actually represent heaven and the dungeon represent hell, and the people of this between these two places are the people of the medieval age. Okay, and in his next subsequent dream, he actually encounters with Piers Plowman, this person who is an honest and hardworking farmer, and he is a virtuous man who actually epitomizes as a Christ. Okay, now the holistically this book is religious, full of Christian quotations from Bible, and through this particular example of this man Plowman, the poet actually wants to teach us how to live a good Christian life and gain salvation by working hard, because William Langland himself grew up as a poor, so he wanted to show us what a life is like for an ordinary individual. Okay, now we'll move to the next poet, John Mandeville. So John Mandeville was a traveler who explored many countries in Asia, including India, Arabia, Turkey, and he is known for his only one work, The Travels of Sir John Mandeville. So he explored many countries, and based upon that, he decided to write this book. And it's a travelogue or a memoir. Memoir means something that describes a part of your life. So unlike the autobiography, which describes the full life story, if you read the Amar Jiban by Abanandana Thakur, it basically describes the childhood days spent at Thakurbari of Abanandana Thakur. Okay, so it describes a part of your life. This book was originally written in French in the year 1356, and later it was translated into several other languages including English that appeared in 1375. And this work was used as a reference by many other voyagers or sailors in the post-medieval era, such as Christopher Columbus, who was heavily influenced by this work, or Marco Polo, writer like Sir Walter Raleigh. Okay. Now we'll move to the next important figure, John Wycliffe. You must remember his contribution in important works. Now he was a priest who first started preaching against the corruption of the church. Okay, now, he believed that the ministers should be humble and pious and not subject to pomp and veneration. Now in the medieval period, the church held so much power over people that, let alone the common people, even the English crown or the king or the nobility, they didn't have the courage to talk against them. Okay, and that's why he was against all of these, and he was against the hegemony of the church that they had over people. And he also comments on the authority of scripture, that the people had to dependent on them just to get the meaning of the text, because it was written in Latin. Common people used to speak in English, so the followers of John Wycliffe and Wycliffe himself, they decided to translate the Bible into English. And remember, he is known the morning star of Reformation, because they set the stage for the Reformation, the Protestant Reformation that happened in the 15th century. Okay, now the movement they started was known as Lollard movement, and the followers of John Wycliffe were known as Lollards. When they translated the Bible into vernacular English, it eventually led the people to call them heretics. Heretics means non-believer, because according to Roman Catholic law, translating Bible into common language was punishable offense. And in 1415, the Council of Constance declared officially John Wycliffe and their followers as heretics, and eventually they were sentenced to death. and John Wycliffe was burned alive. But their importance, their impact was intact, and the impact they left that paved the way for the Reformation that happened in the 15th century. Okay, just remember he was the person who first translated Bible into English, and because of this he is remembered. Now we will move to the next poet, John Gower. John Gower is a friend of Chaucer, and he was closely related to Chaucer, and Chaucer himself dedicated a part of his poem Troilus and Cressida to him. Okay. Now, in the 20th century, when C.S. Lewis, he is a poet of 20th century, he mentioned Gower's name in his work, The Allegory of Love. Then people started taking interest in his work, John Gower. Okay, so there is a revival of interest in his poetry when C.S. Lewis mentioned his name. Now, he wrote basically in three languages, French, Latin, and English. You see the three works, and among all of these three works, the important work is this work, Confessio Amantis. Okay, it is written at the request of Richard II, and it's a collection of stories told in octosyllabic verse. And remember this information that it also served as a source material for Shakespeare play Pericles. But this particular work is similar to Canterbury Tales, Boccaccio's Decameron, because it's a collection of stories that we find in Canterbury Tales. Okay, now the story is structured in a frame narrative with a prologue and 8 books. The plot involves an older man, Ammons, who confesses his sins against love to the chaplain of Venus. The chaplain is a member of religious order, similar to a priest, and the chaplain's name is Genius. The poem opens with the narrator who is in a restless state of mind and pained with the woo, and it's the month of May, and he sets out on a walk feeling far from his beloved, and he wanders into a wood to cry, and he cries out to Cupid. Cupid is god of love. Okay, and at this point the character Genius appears, the chaplain of Venus, and the narrator starts making confession to Genius, asking that he be absolved of his sin against love. Basically the plot revolves around it. Okay, now we will move to the next poet. You just remember his work, Regiment of Princes, Thomas Hawcliffe, and he was contemporary poet of Chaucer. Now John Lydgate wrote 7 works, and the most important work is The Fall of Princes, and in this work he praised Chaucer, and it's a translation work. It was translated from French into Chaucerian rhyme roll. Okay, so he followed the style of Chaucer. Now he also wrote based upon Homer's story, Troy book, okay, and Siege of Thebes. And last 2 of his work, Complaint of the Black Knight and Temple of Glass, these 2 works were modeled upon Chaucer work. So this work was modeled on the Book of the Duchess, and this work was modeled on the House of Fame. Okay, now we will move to the MCQ question part. প্রথম কোশ্চেন হচ্ছে যে হুইচ চসারিয়ান টেক্সট প্যারাডিজ দান্তেস ডিভাইন কমেডি। অ্যান্সার হচ্ছে দ্য হাউস অফ ফেম। ওকে, ক্যান্টারবুরি টেলস প্যারাডিজ সেটা হচ্ছে Boccaccio's Decameron. Next question is which is not written by Chaucer. So My Last Duchess, Troilus and Cressida. So My Last Duchess is a poem, okay, dramatic monologue by Browning, Robert Browning, Victorian poet, and this is a play written by Shakespeare, Troilus and Cressida. Just notice this spelling. So the answer is both A and B. The next হচ্ছে who called Chaucer as the father of English poetry? The answer is Dryden. এটা just information জন্য লিখে দিয়েছি এখানে। নেক্সট হচ্ছে যে the pilgrims went for a pilgrimage to the Canterbury in the month of, চারটে দেওয়া আছে, answer is April. Okay, next হচ্ছে what are the tales in the Canterbury Tales written in prose? So the Person Tale and Melibus Tale. Okay, and Person Tale হচ্ছে সবথেকে বড় tale. And the next হচ্ছে Sidman and Cynewulf are 2 famous poets, and they were Chaucer contemporaries, successor, predecessor. So answer is predecessor. Okay, predecessor মানে হচ্ছে পূর্ববর্তী, যারা আগে লিখেছে, এরা ছিল হচ্ছে Anglo-Saxon poets. Next হচ্ছে how many pilgrims in Chaucer Canterbury Tales are going on the pilgrimage? So answer is 29, because narrator ছিল একটা আর 29 জন pilgrimage যারা এক জায়গায় একত্র হয়েছিল। ওকে, now we'll move to next. What is the name of the inn where the pilgrims assemble for the night? That is Tabard Inn. এটা আমি বলে দিয়েছি এর প্রিভিয়াস ভিডিওতে, ঠিক আছে? যে ইনফরমেশনগুলো মনে রাখবে, এগুলো ইম্পর্টেন্ট, it might be asked. Now next, how many women characters appear in the prologue to the Canterbury Tales? So it's important, the female characters সেটা হচ্ছে 3টে। প্রথম দুটো আমি ডিসকাস করেছি, ওয়াইফ অফ বাথ and the prioress, and there is also another character, that is the second nun. Okay, now next, which of the following is Chaucer's prose work? So সব ওয়ার্ক হচ্ছে পোয়েট্রি, ওকে, ভার্স, এগুলো সব ভার্সে লেখা, বাট অনলি দিস ওয়ার্ক ট্রিটিস অন দ্য অ্যাস্ট্রোলেব, এটা হচ্ছে প্রোজে লেখা। Just remember this. And the next is the Piers Plowman is a series of visions seen by its author Langland. What was the first vision that he saw? যখন স্টোরিটা বলছিলাম তো এটাই মেনশন করেছি যে the vision of field full of fog. So টাওয়ার অ্যান্ড ডানজেনের মাঝখানে যে প্লেস ছিল ওটা দেখছে যে অনেক মানুষজন আছে যেগুলো পুরো মিডিয়াভেল সোসাইটির মতো তিনটে ক্যাটাগরিতে বিভক্ত, and he refers to it as the fair field full of folks. Okay, so answer is fair field full of folks. So এই পোয়েট্রিতে ন্যারেটিভ অনেকগুলো ড্রিমস থাকে, প্রথমে এই দুটো ড্রিম থাকে, পরে আবার ড্রিম থাকে, তো অনেকগুলো ড্রিম আছে, প্রত্যেকটা ড্রিমে এক একটা নাম আছে, ঠিক আছে। তো এইগুলো হচ্ছিল ড্রিম ছিল, এগুলো পরে দেখেছে, 7 deadly sins এর ব্যাপারে সে দেখেছে, ম্যানস মোরাল স্পিরিচুয়াল লাইফ। ওকে, বাট দ্য ইম্পর্টেন্ট ইজ জাস্ট রিমেম্বার দিস। সো দ্যাটস ইট ইন দিস ভিডিও। আরো ইম্পর্টেন্ট কোশ্চেন্স হয়, এগুলোর উপর আমি পরে একটা আলাদা করে ভিডিও বানিয়ে দেবো। ওকে, এটা জাস্ট যতটা হয় আমি 10 থেকে 11টা লিখলাম এখানে। সো আই হোপ ইউ হ্যাভ আন্ডারস্টুড ইট। উইল মিট সুন ইন দ্য নেক্সট ভিডিও। থ্যাংক ইউ।